Hello and welcome to Gamers Confessional, episode 246. It's me, Vimesy. With me tonight, we have the illustrious Clarky
Hey,
and the unanimous Pet.
hey, you.
That still doesn't make any sense. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our avid followers, our legion of hordes that have joined us on YouTube today. You have no idea quite how long it's taken Pet to find one completely white wall in his house. So sorry about for the audio listeners, you aren't missing anything. And indeed, maybe if he'd have done, I said to him he should do it in front of his blinds, but he wasn't having none of it, which is a shame, really, because they're infamous. Anyway,
They are.
welcome. We got so much to talk about tonight. It's going to be an incredibly exciting show. It's jam-packed with featured. Okay, we haven't got much, but what we have got.
Don't say that.
We haven't got much. Clarky's
Because
turned up with Clarky. Clarky, what was your when I asked you what have you brought tonight? What was your exact terminology?
Nothing.
Pat, what have you brought with us tonight?
I played two new games that have been out, and we want to discuss the PlayStation UI.
That way, that way. Look, PlayStation UI. For those on YouTube, I have a screen behind me with, well, it's not a screen actually at all, but you know, hey, yeah. So they did this earlier on today. They did the PlayStation 5 UI reveal, which is the first time we've seen anything about what it's actually going to look like when you boot the system up and stuff like this. It was a bit like the teardown video they did of kind of taking the PlayStation apart. It was actually quite in depth. It was about 10 minutes long. And they went into a fair bit of detail. I mean, weirdly, they did this on the day that Xbox actually released their new UI. So I don't know if that was a planned thing, just to steal
What, the new
Xbox.
UI for this?
Yeah,
for
well,
this generation?
Xbox, the latest Xbox update is basically giving us the UI that I imagine you'll get on the Xbox Series X when it comes out.
Oh,
It looks pretty slick. I haven't seen a lot of it, but
but I thought that UI was like created because it can do stuff that you can't do on this gen. No,
It's just a
Like the whole
screen where
kind
you
of,
select
it's
stuff.
just a UI, mate.
but like the whole going into games instantly and
Oh yeah, you won't be able to you won't have that ability on like your Xbox One, but you will on the X. So that I guess that's just like when you're on the X, you won't see that option. I don't know.
oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, beer
In the blue glass.
in a blue glass. Yeah, weird, huh? So the PlayStation UI. So we had this beautiful 10-minute video of the PlayStation UI looking all snazzy. It was, yeah, like I say, quite a breakdown. The first place they took us to was these things called cards.
Yeah, he came straight in, didn't he? Because he didn't. He
For
turned
audio
it.
users, I now have a picture of cards behind me because I've worked out how to use virtual
Yeah.
backgrounds.
I would have liked though if he just turned it on, like so we could see it from the beginning. Because he turned it on from rest mode, didn't he?
Well, no, he did. He turned it on from rest mode, and it went straight to this because this is what you'll see when you boot up from rest mode. So this is them
Yeah.
playing. What was it called? That
Sackboy.
Sackboy's A Big Adventure or something like that. So you go straight into the game. It's a bit like quick resume, but you go straight into the game where you were. But at the bottom of it, you've kind of got these little cards which give you things like a little news update from PlayStation. They'll tell you little things about the game you're playing. So if you've got like achievements and stuff like that you're about to do. I quite like this idea. I have some questions about this idea, like for the fact that it's only available in some games, and I presume that publishers will have to actually opt in to do this. It's fine. I'm worried it's going to be one of those things that Sackboy's Big Adventure comes out with, and no other game at all ever utilizes it again.
Do you think?
Well, they showed some really interesting things about this because they did this cards thing where you can kind of see, okay, you're in the middle of a map, you're in the middle of a game, and it says, your level is 33% done, or you've got an achievement. If you want to go this way, you could go and get this, and it will tell you things like how long it will take you to do that achievement. And all I kept thinking, like, could you imagine playing Destiny with that? And it's like, you have 44 hours to go before you unlock this particular gun or something.
Yeah.
It's going to be mad. But I quite liked the way it kind of works. You kind of want to get hands on with it to see exactly how it's going to function and what happens with it. but they
I
also
guess it's like a little bit like an expanded, detailed trophy list, and not like a trophy list, but it's similar
it's
to.
yeah, it's your pathway to trophy, basically, isn't it? So it would say
Hmm,
something like, maybe it'll have something there like your next trophy is this if you're near your 97% completion on this or something like that. I mean, things like Assassin's Creed are made for this kind of stuff, isn't it? It's like
yeah. But
you
then, like some games, like so, would each game do whatever card they wanted to do?
yeah, I
Because,
guess
for
so.
instance, let's say like Death Stranding, they don't want to put a percentage and go, well, you're 44% through the level. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to.
They're not
That's
going to.
what.
No, I don't think they're going to do that, but they might do something like oh, I mean, they could do. They could do something like you're 60% of the way to your target or something. I
But
don't
do they
know.
have to do like that? Do they have to do that card, or could they do whatever card they wanted to
And
do?
they have to do what they can do every card they want. That's what I
Yeah,
imagine. I don't know, but that's the
yeah,
impression I got was they could do what the hell ever they wanted to.
that's
Um,
cool.
but some of the things I quite liked was they did this. Did you see the help function they had? So basically, what you can do is you can kind of um, share your screen if you want to, or you can just ask for help. So if you're in that level, if you like, you say, for example, for viewers who are watching on YouTube, there's a kind of a card behind me which is called like part of the level of called a big adventure, and it
Mm.
says like it's 33% completed. And if you wanted to, you could click on that and you could put kind of picture in picture a video of how to complete that level, or like a little help guide or something like that. And I thought that was quite nice. I quite like the fact that they could do that, and they could do kind of like little help things. So I'll put it up on the screen now, guys, if you're watching. So you can kind of like see the video in video of like um, this is how to do this particular
Yeah,
unlock or
like a
something like that, or
tutorial.
how to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. And developers can choose to do that. So I'm not sure I want to see that in things like, I don't really want to see that in games like The Witcher, for example. I don't
Dark
really want to see
Souls.
Dark Souls. No, I do not want to see it in Dark Souls. But it would be quite useful in things like Assassin's Creed, where you might be thinking, where the fuck is that last feather or something like that, and they might just go,
Yeah, I mean, I was
it's here.
playing. Well, it does. It kind of replaces you going on YouTube, right? Because I was playing.
Yeah,
Um, what's the Zelda game? Clarky on the Switch with the egg. Can't remember what it's called
Link's
now.
Awakening.
Link's Awakening, yeah,
yeah.
and like it is a complicated game, so I did have to Google like how do I find. I was looking for some
Fucking
sort of equipment. I
bird
can't remember what
tower.
it was. Yeah, like how do I find? I had to swap something with one of the AI characters, and I couldn't find like the bananas or something like that. So I was like, how do I find the banana? So I come out, I turn off the
They're in
switch,
the
go
hut,
into.
mate. They're in the little
Hmm?
hut. They're in the little hut. You've got to
Yeah,
go
you got
down.
to go and swap it like at the beach. But my point is, I had to turn off the switch, like Google it, YouTube it, and then do it in the game. So I guess this is just like pressing the PS button and getting a heads up without you ever leaving
You
the
don't have to
PlayStation
leave the game.
ecosystem.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
because they've got so much kind of like bandwidth's probably the wrong word for it, but they can still have the game on screen and have this running picture in picture, so you can have the video running in the corner whilst you're playing the level, which I think is
Mm.
quite cool. And
It is cool, but I just like with all these features, me personally, I don't know how Clarky feels, but I always feel like when you kind of put stuff in that depends on the like. Sorry, some police outside. Could you hear
welcome to
that?
That was
London.
actually my house.
Well, I had them outside here as well.
Oh,
Bloody hell! It must be locked because lockdown's coming on like
you two
Saturday.
live next door. This is where you
They
find
do
out
You
that.
you've been
walk out in the
neighbours for the
morning. Oh my
last
god!
7
No, Clarky, they do that. Like, if they know that there's organized crime, like, say if we were both like godfathers, they would break into our house at the same time. So that if they broke into mine and say someone escaped, they would call you. Like, one of my members would call you. So that doesn't happen. They break in. If they were to break into us, they would all break in at the same time.
It
Sim-
scares me how
Simple.
much he knows about this shit
Yeah.
sometimes. But yeah, okay.
Anyway,
I don't
what
think
was
anyone's going
that?
to swap the game as Confessional, but
Yeah, but
okay.
I'm just saying, if they did want to, they would do it all at the same time. So don't be surprised if, like, you do hear alarms at the same time. It could be that.
It could be you
But my,
godfather of crime, you.
When do we get to the stuff about Sony recording our personal information?
Oh,
oh,
that's just always
not
happening.
yet. But what I was going to say, Clarky, I don't know how you feel about this, but when I see all this stuff, like how the game is loading all this stuff over the internet, I just feel like, oh man, this is going to go like, really bad, really south, really quick once a few years down the line. I just don't like, I don't know, I just feel like it depends. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's going to be trying to run this crap. I'll give you an example, right?
Please,
it'll
'cause
be
I don't know what you're
interesting.
talking about.
It'll be interesting to see how much of this stuff gets patched out in the next 6 months. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Yeah, the share button on the PlayStation 4 was a new feature, and day one, maybe even year one, it worked perfect. You could hold it down to take a screenshot. You could press it once and take a video.
yeah,
You can set it for as long as you wanted to.
Yeah,
Take 15 minutes of the video, take 3 minutes, take 1 minute. You press it, no questions asked, it will record your video. Have you guys tried to record video today on the PS4? Oh my God, it works maybe once, 1 out of 10 times. It works when it wants to.
as well.
It's clunky as hell. It's like, God, if they can't do that, then are you telling me this is really, I can imagine this like stopping after 4 seconds and buffering for 50 minutes when I've got fiber internet. And I just don't trust it.
It is a bit ironic that we're covering an entire show with the one company who's the absolute worst at designing UIs.
Yeah, it's not promising, is it? I don't know. I thought
Just keep it like part of me just feels like keep it simple, guys.
Like the Switch.
Get buy yourself an
Like
Xbox,
the Switch.
mate.
Do you know what? Like PlayStation, I'm gonna say it again because I'm a big Vita fan, but the Vita UI was just so simple and so nice. It just sit like little dots here, little apps there, not much, not all singing or dancing. You go into it, you can click, there's the website. If you want to click on the website, you can click on the website. Just simple. With all this stuff, like I know Vimesy lives like in this fancy world, I feel, where he goes, oh, great technology.
Definitely.
I'll be watching Dark Souls tutorial while I'm trying to do the same bit and it's all going to work. And I'm just
Well, I thought it'd be great because you could share your video of you trying to beat Gascoigne and we could be there going...
The way it'll look
Not like
when
that.
Vimes is doing it, the background where the game is will just be black and there'll just be a video he's watching of the gameplay.
It's uncalled for.
I don't, and what you said is like, oh, will every company use it or will they just like push it aside? They could push it aside. I think it will be like, like the feature of the microphone in the PlayStation, the speaker in the controller.
Yeah.
Like some companies use it to really good effect. Grand Theft
many.
Auto, Everybody's Golf, like some companies, things. Yes, Clark.
Killzone used it nicely.
Killzone, but then others just ignored it.
What are the chances of ads appearing on these videos, do you think?
Never.
Exactly.
They wouldn't possibly do that ever. Oh, but what was interesting about it was that help function that they're talking about, it's only available on, and they said very clearly it's only available on some games. So again, developer supported, but also only for PS Plus users. So
because you need to have an internet subscription for it to work.
Why? You don't need
because
to. No, but what I'm saying is like they gated it behind the PlayStation Plus thing, right? They don't need to. If I don't have PlayStation Plus, I can still have my PlayStation plugged into the internet because I need it for game updates and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I can still play some games without
so
it.
it's not about the fact that they, if you don't have PS Plus, you're never online. You're always still online. You're
what
still
the hell is that about then? They're just trying to sell PS Plus then?
They just want you to pay for PS Plus. That's all. They're trying to keep you invested in that, and maybe that'll mean that every
because the card is going to make me pay for it.
Well, I mean, like we pay for it anyway, don't we? So let's be honest.
Wait for flashing buy now button while you're playing the game.
Yeah. But it's like if they then start putting adverts on it, I'm like, hang on, I'm paying you for this service and you're banging ads on it. So,
But to answer your question, like, I just want it simple. Like the Xbox One confused me to this day still. Like, we're actually going to play games.
They have changed that. The UI that you actually, that you actually see when you're actually like the normal game one is this one, which is that
much better.
Which is essentially almost exactly the same as the one we've got at the moment.
Yeah.
you have
if
some
not
blocks at the top of the screen.
Aren't there curves on those blocks though?
Oh, there are curves on that block.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, it's no different from having a new theme, is it? I mean, there's the screen that we've got up on the moment, which is showing you kind of your bits and pieces, like your media, your explore button that they went on about for a little bit.
They probably hobbled this out last week. Oh shit, we forgot to do
but
that.
it just it looks. I like the new stuff they're talking about with the kind of the help function, the sharing screen. But that was, I'm sure, like you could screen share on a PS4, right? There's nothing new there. You can do that.
Controller. Yeah.
So there's not a huge amount. The jumping in from rest mode is new, and that's nice. I like that.
But there's nothing wrong with keeping it like I kind of
No,
feel like
nothing at
we're
all.
saying it as if it's a bad thing. That they've kept
Nothing
it
at all
simple.
wrong
Like,
with nothing at all wrong with keeping it
it's
simple.
really good at the moment, and it's clear.
No,
and
it's only clear because we use it all the time. It's clunky as hell. I mean,
It's not clunky to find your game though. Your recent games are on the left. Your library's on the right.
No, that's fine. I understand all that, but it's just the fact that you've got like two separate game bar. You got the game bar, and then you got the kind of the
that is
bar,
weird. Yeah, the settings bar. Yeah,
the kind of the settings bar. Then like it will do. Oh man, I hate it when I'm in the middle of like the other night when we were playing Call of Duty or whatever it was, and you said join a party. And I get the ping up saying join a party, and I've got to press my PlayStation button, which then takes me out of the game to go and load up through God knows how many seconds worth of weird loading screens and stuff before I get to the lobby that I know you're already in, so I can press the button that says join, which by default I've already said join to, because otherwise I wouldn't have pressed on your fucking invite.
Yeah, it doesn't need to boot
so
you out.
When they were showing this, they showed like you joining a game chat from in-game really simply, and if they can nail that shit and get rid of the kind of the stuff that just takes you out of stuff, you know, that's okay with me. That's all I really want them to do. I don't want them to necessarily reinvent the wheel. I just want to make the things that they already do slicker.
I know what you mean. Like the UI has become such a big thing, and like for me, who I still play retro games. Like, and if you guys remember, how much time did you guys ever spend in the PS2 UI?
Best UI ever. Blades on the Xbox 360. Loved it.
Yeah, but like, how much time did I spent maybe like for 10 seconds? Like, I didn't spend any time. No one spent any time in the PS2.
But there wasn't
UI.
anything to do with it.
Because it was just, do you want to run the game?
Yes. But that's the thing. But now there's loads more than that, isn't there? There's not just playing the game. There's all the other shit that comes with it, because you've got your inventory, your storage management. You've got your PlayStation Now. One of the good things,
the PS1 UI.
Yeah, at least they're doing it this time around, where they've actually bothered to integrate the store into the actual UI rather than just having it load as a separate bloody entity. So maybe they've learned stuff. But I remember thinking that when the PlayStation 4 come out, and that didn't happen. So we'll see. I am waiting to be, I don't know, not wowed certainly, but I'm waiting to just hope that they get it right. It looks all right. There was they banged on a lot about this stuff, about like being able to explore the PlayStation, so you can get like immediate news from PlayStation or your favorite developers that you follow. So they're trying to make it almost like a Twitter feed for gaming and stuff like that. And it's like,
Twitch does that, Clarky. You can subscribe to channels, can't you? To like your favorite
on Twitch, yeah. But it's like, so this is like, when you go in at the moment onto the PlayStation or whatever it is, and when you hover over the game that you want to play, underneath it says what's new and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is basically that. But
I was going to say,
all they've done is they've shoved it into a new menu icon called Explore that no one's ever going to go into.
No, of course not.
Because now we can ignore it. So that's great.
Yeah.
But Clarky, you look enthralled, mate. What did you think of it?
Just the UI, I wasn't particularly enamored with it.
But this is the first time we've seen the PlayStation, mate. This is what we're paying for.
It's what you're paying for.
That's what I'm paying for. Well, you're paying for it technically as well, because aren't you buying Pet His?
What do you think of the Switch UI, Clarky?
Perfect.
Why?
Because it's easy to navigate. It doesn't freeze or lock up. It does what it needs to do.
I completely agree with Clarky. I think it's just so simple. It's not all bells or whistles, but it's just simple.
It is, but they only have like what they got underneath. So you got the game line, which I like. I like the fact that it's
the settings line afterwards.
Yeah, but
you've got settings. You've got
but no, on the bottom you've got like the 5 buttons, haven't you?
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and it is simple, but they don't. I was going to say they don't offer as much as like the PlayStation or Xbox, but I'm trying to work out what they don't offer.
But that's what I'm trying to get to, you guys. Like, does that make it... That's why I was trying to use the PS2 as an example, but I think the Switch, I think Clark can relate to it more, so that's why I turned it like that. What I'm trying to say is, like, does it make a difference that, like, does this UI make, like, why are companies spending so much time? The Xbox UI, I could tell when I turned on my Xbox, when I bought it, like, damn, people are spending a lot of time on this. Why is crap? Like... Do they actually think that?
The Xbox one was poor. Let's be honest. It wasn't very good. But you know, it is what it is. There you go. All back to me. Look at that. Oh, ooh, I've almost got a white screen if I line it up properly. There we go.
Yeah.
It's really
I just think, like Clarky said, I think just simple, like for me, but other people like other things. And I bet the new kids, like the younger 15-year-olds and 12-year-olds, whatever, I bet they want to see some crazy crap.
NKOTB.
What?
New Kids on the Block.
Oh, yeah, the new kids on the block. I bet they want to see something crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, they're always living in this Instagram world anyway. So maybe they're just like designing it for them.
I quite like the fact that I can kind of, I would be interested to see how this works when you're kind of like, you're playing a game and then you can have you can chat to your friend while he's playing his game, and then I can also kind of semi-watch his game in the corner. Who's going to use that? Who, when I'm playing Call of Duty, am I really going to want to have your whatever feed in the bottom corner of? Am I going to want to watch Clarky playing Dark Souls?
To cheat?
I mean, I could suppose if me and Pet were playing duos or something like that, I could have his cam feed in the bottom. But
yeah, I can see using it, like not in Call of Duty, but the games like I play Everybody's Golf a lot. Like, yeah, I could easily have your game of Call of Duty in the background and just see how you're doing. I've got a friend who at one point he was top 50.
Oh, dead again. Dead again.
Well, I've got like in slower games, like I've got a friend that loves Command and Conquer, the remaster. I know that's only out on PC, but as an example, like, you know, I could easily watch that in the background while playing Everybody's Golf or something more relaxing.
I think for some people it's going to be amazing. I think at the moment the way I game is quite limited and I don't really explore all the things that the PlayStation 4 has yet. You know, I never use the share button. I never take screenshots. I don't video my gameplay. I don't stream to Twitch or Twitter or whatever it is.
A lot of people do.
But a lot of people do. And like you take someone like Rob, who uses Share Factory a lot. Interestingly, we've seen nothing about Share Factory on this thing, which is weird. But you've got to imagine the stuff that they're showing on this is going to be good for creators and people like him to use. There's going to be some benefit to that. So
the Share Factory app was really good. I mean, I used it.
It still is really good. I mean, I only dicked around with it for like, you know, a couple of times.
Yeah, it still is really good.
You put some stuff out that was, you know, it looked really good. Clarky stuff was really obviously third tier, but Pat, your stuff was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. You look, should go to my YouTube channel. I haven't uploaded in like 4 years, but that stuff was good. Yeah,
you know, but I mean that. Yeah, if they can kind of nail that stuff, then yeah, why not? You know, I mean, they've got all this grunt behind the scenes. You don't want to waste that playing Sackboy's Big Adventure. You might as well put that horsepower to some use.
Well, people take like the pee out of me when I say this, especially Android people. But the reason Apple is so good and so successful is because all of their UI is just, it's not even, I'm not even going to say it's great. It's intuitive. Like my dad, who is not a computer person at all, can pick up an iPad for his first time and go anywhere he wants to go because it's obvious. Oh, I want to FaceTime. Let me try the face. It's just obvious. Like, it's not complicated. It's become a little bit more complicated. I don't know if you guys saw that new widget.
I agree with you. The iPhone UI is very simple to use. What pisses me off with the iPhone is that they celebrate new functions released on their phones, which Android phones have had for like 10 years.
No, yeah, I completely get that.
There is, but the thing with Apple is that they just refine it to a point of being like so.
But my point is, we just got this week the iPhone 12. Yeah, I could have bet my house on it, my mortgage on it.
Well, that's how much it will cost you.
Yeah, but I could have bet that there's no way they're going to come out with a complicated UI. It's like they're better than that. They're more clever than that. So it's like, I know it's going to be simple. I know it's going to be easy to use from the point that a 5-year-old can use it to an 8-year-old.
That's why, you know, you look at stuff like, I mean, this is the things that have tempted me to buy a Mac in the past are things like their Movie Maker app and their band, what's it called? GarageBand, right? Because they make doing stuff which previously was really, really hard.
I created my jingles on there.
Yeah, right. And they make it really simple. Well, not simple to make, you know, I mean, it's kind of simple to make music, but it's like, like you say, it's intuitive. I know that if I want this sound to be made and to mix it, this is how it works, and it's all simple. Now there are things on PC which emulate that, and they can kind of, so BandLab or whatever can do similar stuff.
And we're talking about like intuitive, and I'm not saying it for people that don't use it. Like I use the PlayStation 4 all the time. I've used it for years now, today I went on it for the first time with the update, and I couldn't find how to make a private party.
Oh shit!
I asked Aaron, he couldn't figure it out. We asked Bradley couldn't figure it out. We're like, are we private or are we not private?
To be fair, mate, if Bradley can't figure it out, it's with you.
Well, but I mean, like, we use it every day, and like, we still go, and it's like, why is this so complicated? And what we worked out in the end is, with the new update, there's no longer an option of turning your party private. It just automatically is. If you create one and invite specific people, it should all be private, so it won't show. So if us are in a party, others won't show it. But back in the day, you create a party, it would be public, or
and you could choose.
And then you could choose. So it's like, why? Like, why are we taking steps backwards to make things?
But that's weird, because there have been times when you've been playing, and I can see you're on with, like, you and Aaron are playing or something like that, or Pritesh playing, and I'll be like, I'll just drop in.
Yeah.
And now I can't do that.
No.
Unless you specifically say, I don't know what.
You won't need to be able to tell that we're in a party.
Well, no, right? That's fucking annoying.
Yeah, so...
I don't know. And PlayStation just shoot themselves in the foot half the time. Anyway.
So now, to make the party available to everyone, I would have to create a party and be the only one in it, and then I can send invites out afterwards. But if I created one by going, right, Vimesy, Clarky, and me create a party, and it created, it wouldn't...
But if I just went in and created a party, and then it would allow people to join.
Or I joined, it would be all good.
Okay, well, I mean, it's something.
But it's like, why are we...
But you shouldn't need to have, like, patch notes or a fucking instruction manual to work it out, right?
After 6 years of using the PS4, like, a new update comes out, and it's, oh man, I don't know. I just think
I didn't even know there was an update out, so I'm going to be screwed for Call of Duty later, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Pet, did you want to speak about any particular game that you may have played and possibly posed naked for?
Definitely not the second comment, no.
Oh, no, come on.
I've been playing...
Clarky, you've brought nothing. You've brought nothing. You can't complain if he brings content.
You know you're only allowed to discuss that game on episodes I'm not on.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's not in the contract. I have the
I'll
contract
keep it really
here.
short,
It's not in
Clarky.
it.
I'll keep it really short. I've been playing the new FIFA.
Are the refs better?
No.
The goalkeeper's rebuilt from the ground up.
That's all I need to know. Vans, what have you been playing?
You want to go there? You want to go there? You can go there.
I really don't, like, I don't know what's good. Like, I'm sounding really pessimistic today. And if anyone's watching for the first time, I'm usually like the happy one.
No, Pet. Every single FIFA, this is what you come out with. The first show after every single FIFA, this is exactly the same speech.
I don't know why we bother anymore. Like, why EA bothers.
Seriously, replay last year's episode. This time last year, that's exactly the same thing you said then, and the year before that, and the year before that.
If you took, like, fucking shit and threw it in my face, no, that's not a bad example.
Well, to be fair, with the
but roll with it, please.
But, like, I mean, like, if you hit my eyes with mud, that would be a better example, and, like, wipe them off, and then went, play FIFA 19, I would believe you. It's FIFA 19. Like, not even FIFA 20. Like, it just.
Did you see the IGN review score?
For the Switch. Version. That's just a joke.
Round of applause, man. That was
just a joke. I mean, they used to do the same thing. So what happened? Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, is that 3 years ago, the EA Sports finally started using new engine for FIFA, which allowed them to do more unique things, which they weren't doing. So that's when they introduced, like, the story mode, when you could play as I can't remember his name. I want to say John Connor, but that's the guy from Terminator.
It is.
Definitely wasn't John Connor.
Wasn't John Connor.
No, but you could play, like, as a young kid, and you could take on his life, and it was like a story mode. But the Switch, they were like, they either say it can't handle it, or they just can't be bothered to patch it. So the Switch has stayed on the old, like, legendary legacy engine. So what's happened then is, like, the new FIFA's been developing on the main consoles, Xbox and PlayStation, maybe PC. I don't really know about PC, but the Switch has just stayed the same for the past, like, 3 years.
No,
so it's just got to the point.
No, they've updated the sponsors on the shirts.
Yeah, I mean, they update the kits, but it's the same game. So, like, IGN played brilliant. It and they went to review, and they literally said, like, it's the same game. So, you know, if they can't be bothered to make a new game, they want to sell it full price, then I'm just going to copy and paste my review from last year and give it 1 grade lower as well.
Give him like 2 out of 10 or something, didn't he?
But he could have been doing that for the past like 3 years on Switch.
No,
But anyway,
I thought it was a nice touch, and it's like. No,
but even on
good.
the main game, fellas, it's just like the features. There is updates. It is a new game, but it's just so minor, and it has to be minor when the development cycle of the game like this.
So why are you doing it?
Why am I buying it?
Why didn't you and the Slaughterhouse say, sod it, we're not doing it this year, we're just going to keep playing 20?
I'll tell you. Well, I'm
asking.
Well, I'll tell you what happened this year. This year, I didn't want to buy FIFA. Yeah, and it was the first time where I didn't buy it. Pritesh bought me FIFA, and he was like, I bought it, here you go, pet. Merry Christmas. Play it. And even then, I didn't want to play it.
He made me do it.
He made me do it. But we have a close friend, like me and my close group of friends, we play FIFA, and we don't only play it for, like, because we love the game. Like, some of us think I personally think it's okay. I think Pro Evo is better personally, and I know Pritesh thinks that as well. But the reason we play it is because it's quite of a social thing for us. Yeah. So we jump on. It's a game where you don't have to be. If you're playing it like us, you don't have to be. It's not Call of Duty. You don't have to concentrate all the time, especially if you're playing pro clubs, is what we play. So you can have conversations, and we use it really to socialize a lot. A big aspect is getting in the party chat, getting 6 people in, 5 people in, and having a laugh with your mates. But it does get to the point. It's like, what are we buying? Like, are we just buying a refreshed page every time, like a new set of menus and new songs? Because
yes,
it's just it is. So then it's just
why didn't you all buy Fire Pro Wrestling and just play that?
I have bought that game.
Well, then get them that and then play that instead.
Yeah, I mean they're football fans. They're football fans. This is why I always rate, and it's been getting a bad name recently, but I've always rated NBA 2K. Because my God, man, like I really want to grab Aram and Nathan and go fucking play this NBA game. Because when you play this game,
2 aside on that.
Sorry, mate.
Is it just 1v1 on NBA games, or can you play like 5v5 or whatever?
I assume you can play 5v5. I don't have any friends that got the game, so all like NBA is really big in America. Over here in England,
there's a little shout out anybody out there who plays that little game.
Anyway, so yeah, I think you can play 5 against 5. I think they've got pro clubs mode basically.
No, it's funny because obviously with FIFA, you know that you can get into pro clubs or whatever.
You get 11 people, 11 on FIFA.
Exactly.
But,
I don't know if you can do that in NBA or not.
But like, guys, the detail they go in on FIFA, it's on NBA. It makes FIFA look like a pile of crap.
I've seen it. I'm
the
hugely impressed
the people in the show, the announcement, like the whole NBA isn't just a sport.
But they did that whole live thing, didn't they? Where it's like it would update rosters and stuff like that, and it would have like the commentary would change if someone was out injured in real life. The thing would reflect that. You get ticket tape stuff.
Even if they did that for one league. In the Premier League, like they got during half times, they got interviews with the managers afterwards. They got interviews with the players, the real players. All they do is take the real interviews. Like someone comes out on Sky Sports, Harry Kane comes out and goes, "Oh, we played a bad game today." Da, 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 da. They clip that and they put it in the game. They got the license for thing. Maybe what we need is a Premier League game where there's a handful of teams. Maybe put the Championship teams in as well. 40 teams max. And we go full detail here because
they tried that, haven't they? They tried that with like the Champions League stuff, and
Well, maybe that's what we need.
PES tried to do it, and
because the excuse that like the FIFA players have is, NBA only has a 10-player team, and there's only the NBA teams. We got FIFA is every team in the world. Like there's more players. There's hell more players.
That's true.
But give me just a Premier League team then. Give me a Premier League game.
Even if they gave you every top tip, so they give you Ligue 1, they give you like
Champions League, like Liga, they give you Premier.
But then you'd be like, well, why isn't Olympiacos in it or something?
Olympiacos are in the Champions League this year.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be. So I don't know. I get what you're saying. I would love to see a football game that looked like, that went into the same.
Do you remember back in the day when you used to get like the Three Lions football game?
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. Like we used to get like Premier League
Euro '96.
It doesn't even have to be Premier League. Just give me
Road to the World Cup.
La Liga.
I'm sure I had Road to the World Cup. One of the early ones, anyway. But yeah,
like going back to FIFA, like if you liked last year, you will definitely like this year. There's absolutely no
You
complaints.
won't
If you
like the
thought
fact you paid an extra 50 quid for it when you didn't need to because you've got it already.
yeah, you can upgrade for free to the PS5 one when that comes out. So that's a good
That's
thing for
something.
anyone. Yeah, if anyone wants to buy it now, you'll get the free
More
version.
than Call of Duty you've done. So there we go.
Yeah, so that's good. It's just the same game. I mean, I'll give them a shout out a little bit on Pro Clubs, which is something they haven't updated in years and years and years. There's like significantly, I guess there's some significant updates this year on Pro Clubs, and you know the argument was from all the FIFA players like, well, they don't make money off Pro Clubs, so they don't update it. They just focus on Ultimate Team. You can finally just do tactics. You can actually change your formation, and you could always pick like 4-4-2 and stuff, but now you can actually say, right, these two I want to drop back. The same tactics. Yeah. There's absolutely no reason. The same tactics you have in the normal game, you find have in this mode as well. Like why it was just stripped out, no one ever knew. So you can actually do some tactics, do your formations properly. You can edit the random players. So like now, one of my friends, Eddie, who's like just had a baby and stuff, a second baby, he doesn't play FIFA's Breaking anymore, but we still made him. So like he's one of the AI characters now. You know, Eddie's still there, like in spirit. So you know, we made him look like himself, which is cool. Yeah.
Did you make him increasingly tired and crotchety? Because that tends to be how that works.
I mean, if he ever comes online with his own character, we'll have two Del Nangos. That's his name in the game. But
Double Ender.
It's like
Double Ender. You called him Double Ender.
Del Nango. You know, like he's Italian. You know, like Del Piero.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, like Del. So Del Nango. Nang is. Do you know what the word Nang means? Back in the day, Nang meant like really good, like sick. You're Nang. You never heard that phrase?
Not from my part of the West Country, my friend. No.
Oh, okay. Well, that was like back in the day. That was like a good.
When you say back in the day, I was probably 35.
Yeah, you were probably 35. But yeah, Nang was like really good, and Del Piero. So like Del Nang, like Del Nango.
It's like wicked, man. Yeah.
It's better than my name. But anyway, yeah. So FIFA. I mean, FIFA 21.
Cool.
If you're gonna buy it the PS4 or the Xbox. But it's just really
sorry,
similar.
Clarky, we boring you, mate? You look at. I mean, I know we are, but I mean, you know, bit of respect, bro. You got anything you want to bring again, Clarky, just in case something's popped into your mind or anything?
I'm just reading Forest Friends.
Okay, Pat. Anything else?
Clarky, do you want me to talk about Crash Bandicoot, which I bought this week? No.
Okay, no problem. We don't have to. That's fine. You can talk about it next week.
Put this all on me.
Why wouldn't Clarky want you to talk about it?
I don't know. He doesn't seem that interested today.
He doesn't, does he? I'll tell you what. Should we shave Crash till next week?
Yeah, we can save Crash.
How much have you played of it?
Maybe about 4 hours.
Oh, okay. So
Jesus, really?
Fair amount. You might as well give us your first impressions.
My first impressions is like a really good kids game. Not kids game. It's a really good game. It's good for kids as well. Like Clarky, your young ones will probably like it as well. If anyone ever played the previous ones, like saying this in a negative way.
I've got them on my PS4.
Oh, what the remaster ones?
Sorry, is it just me? Crash wasn't actually that good.
Crash was really good.
No, Crash Team Racing was really good.
Crash Team Racing was really good as well.
Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2 were really not good games.
And 3 was they were really good games.
They were not good games, Pat.
They were really good and they were ahead of their time.
They weren't ahead of their time. They were back in time.
No,
they were like Marty McFly. They were back there somewhere.
No, they were ahead of time.
Platformers.
Oh.
It was just I really liked them, and I know a lot of people really liked them. I mean, yes, Crash became a huge icon.
Objectively, lots of people voted. No, I'm not going to go. So,
but my point is, and I'm saying this in the bad way, like,
political.
I feel like they were so ahead of its time now. Then where like this one is kind of like it doesn't do much different, which is good and bad. Like
what can it do?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, but you know, like Mario. Like when the PlayStation 1 was out and Crash 1 was out, what Mario game was out back then? Do you remember? Like N64 days?
Mario 64, wasn't it?
Mario 64. Yeah, Mario 64. So and then now the latest Mario game we have is Mario Odyssey. So like to me, that Mario 64 to Mario Odyssey is like a huge jump. Where Crash 1 to this,
yeah, but
just like
there's been iteration, hasn't there, on Mario? They've had different games. They've progressed. They've released a Mario game every 3 years, Clark?
Crash came to PS2, and you know.
Yeah, something like that. Whereas Crash has just kind of gone, we're stopped because everyone's worked out that we're shite. We're going to leave it 15 years and then we're going to release another one. What are you going to do? You're going to have to do what they did previously because that's what everyone expects, right?
I'm sorry, but as far as I'm concerned, Ratchet and Clank are PlayStation's icons. Awesome games.
Yeah, they're good, great games. I wouldn't disagree too much with that. But what I mean is, like, they're good games. If you like Crash 1, you would like this. But I just maybe wanted something a bit more. You know, I was playing it with my girl a lot, and sort of I said to her, like, this is a good game, but my God, this is basically like the remaster. Like, why couldn't they do? I had an idea. Why couldn't they do something like Little Big Planet vibe? Like, I've been playing Tony Hawk's, and in Tony Hawk's, you can,
what, Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, the remaster?
Yeah, the remaster.
See, I'd rather hear about that.
Well, I'll tell you about that in a sec. But you know, in that you can make a park. So I was like, how good would it be if we could make Mario levels? Not Mario levels.
Crash levels.
Crash levels. You know, Mario's doing it. Like, it would be so cool to invite my friend like Ben round, who's a big Crash fan, and go, right, Ben, I made this level, it's really hard. Let me sit down and try and do it.
Ben needs to have a word with himself. Yeah.
No, but like, come on, I'm thinking that like that would be a big step. Like, or what? And then you can publish it online. Like, you know, Mario did it. You know, Mario's level can do it. So like, why are we still doing that like this? There needs to be something more like.
So what is Crash 4? Is it Crash 4?
Yeah, Crash 4 is about time.
So that's got none of the older games in it. It's a brand new,
completely brand new. But it's their brand new company. It's no longer Naughty Dog. So Activision still publish it.
Can you imagine Naughty Dog doing Crash? That would be fucking brilliant. It would be like his friends getting slaughtered, blood everywhere. There'd be like bear traps every time you open a box. It would be like, is one of your legs going to get ripped off? Are you going to get beaten to death with a golf club? Who knows? It could. Oh man, that'd be brilliant. Do Crash, Naughty Dog. Do Crash.
Do you remember do you remember when Uncharted 4 had that little Crash?
No, that was good.
This. I was, as soon as Pet said he's been playing it with his girl, I was like, yeah, I know exactly what he's trying to recreate here.
No, but I must admit, like, as soon as I didn't realize Naughty Dog wasn't involved. So as soon as I turned it on and I saw, I can't remember what the company is now. I didn't see Naughty Dog sign. I was like, oh shit! Like, straight away, I thought, this might not be as good as what it used to be.
How much was it?
Oh man,
you got your bonus this year, did you? Because
£60 on the store.
What?
£60.
Where are you coming, mate?
People are complaining about PS5 game prices, mate. £60 for Crash on the store.
Me.
That is a lot.
How much was Tony Hawk's?
I can't remember.
How much was Star Wars? 35.
35. Oh, what a good game that is. No, I wouldn't have bought it, but like, my girl's a big fan of Crash. She doesn't play many video games. A bit like Clarky, your wife. Like, she doesn't play a lot of video games. Well, as soon as she saw Spyro, she was all over it.
Yeah, and Spyro, 2-Point Hospital.
Something about his very raspy tongue.
So yeah, 60 man on the store. You got like some cosmetic skins for like Crash.
Oh mate, no.
Oh.
Yeah, you did. So there's that.
Crash sold out.
It's a good. I'm not saying it's not a bad game. It's a good game. Like, I like it. It's just, you might as well buy like the £20 remaster version. Then like, you get free games and they're just as good, if not better. They look the same. Like, that remaster looks fantastic. It looks incredible. So I thought at least the world was going to be bigger. I thought maybe it would be like a bit more open world or something. Like Mario Odyssey is a bit more open world, you know. I don't know. It just hasn't. It's still that track. You run down, you jump, and it's good. It's really good. It's just.
So from
it's not 96 anymore.
So from one reimagining to the better reimagining, Tony Hawk's. Talk to me about Tony Hawk's.
You guys not played anything. I feel like I'm doing like.
I'm getting to what I'm playing. All right, I'm getting to that. I just want to hear about. I didn't realise you played Tony Hawk. That's all.
Yeah, 1 and 2. It's good.
You also remember that we're the family men of the Gamers Confessional. You're the single, youthful, going out strip clubs, that kind of thing. You know, you're the one who's got the time to do all this stuff. Me,
he's not single.
No,
yeah, I'm not single.
He likes to tell people that. You
know, I don't like to tell people that at all.
But see this ring here, right? I can come off. I mean, I've tried. God knows I've tried, but it's stuck.
Tony Hawk's.
I heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm assuming it's good.
Yeah, but you heard nothing but good things from people that are like. I've heard nothing but good things, but everyone seems to be a huge fan of the game. that's why you hear nothing but good things.
No, I
like,
love Tony Hawk's 1 and 2.
yeah, I
Especially
want to
2.
see someone review it who just like doesn't really care
Well,
too
here
much
you
about Tony
are.
Hawk's.
Get on with it.
Well, it's not that great. Like,
What? Get off this channel now. What do you mean it's not that good?
it's just Tony Hawk's 1
You're just
in
saying this because I
HD.
you just saying this because I disc crash.
No, it's just like this is. Do you know why my reason why it's not that good? There's no people in the world, man. The world seems really dead.
But that's good. At least you're not running them all over.
Yeah, but there's cars in the world like driving like maniacs. Why can't there be people?
That's true.
Like, I just.
Well, you don't want people in the world. That's the whole point, man. Otherwise, they just get in your
Well,
way. They ruin your flow.
I was just thinking, like, if this was like a world like Grand Theft Auto 5, it would be so cool.
No, it wouldn't. You get really pissed off with running into people all the time. Going around a
You
corner
would.
and banging into somebody or something. It'd be like,
It's fun. It's definitely fun. Like, it's
Has it got the move? Does it feel like you like?
I'm
you know
not a
what I
true
mean?
skateboarding fan. Do you know? I wanted to. The only times I used to play this was have you guys heard of a show called Jackass on MTV?
Yeah.
One of my characters that I really liked on there was a guy called Bam Majera. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
He was like a really funny guy and used to do stunts and used to be a skateboarder. And he was in one of the Tony Hawk's games I used to play. And that's the only character I used to play as because I didn't really know, apart from Tony, who I must admit I only knew because the game came out, didn't know anyone else. I'm not a skateboarding fan. So Bam Majera, that was my guy. And I'm not that much into rock music, so I used to play Bam and play the same song all over again, which was Redman. Because I used to love Wu-Tang Clan and Redman and Method Man. Redman's not in the game. There's no song by Redman anymore. And Bam Majera isn't in the game.
That's it. That's
like,
fucked. That's
yeah.
easy. To
So it's
have.
like,
Why did you buy this game?
Because I thought like...
Did you buy it on the store? Or did you
basically, imagine me and then like a skateboarding like grungy fella. Do you know what I mean? You know, like when you used to grow up in school.
You haven't answered my question. Why did you buy this game?
Because I thought it would appeal to everyone, but it kind of only appeals to like
the people who've already played it and liked it.
Do you know the lot I mean? Like I wasn't like a grunger growing up and stuff. I never went through that sort of
Grunger.
You know, like do you remember the grungers? Like not in a bad way. Like my friend Will, Dr. Oculus, he was a big grunger. But so they kind of made it appeal to.
So I was just thinking about that T-shirt I nearly bought the other week with the picture of Hanson on it, and then like the Nirvana logo above it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was.
Like
I was so close to buying.
I don't even in a bad way, but I feel like that type of people will really like this game. But like,
all right, so I should go and buy it then, really, shouldn't I?
I think you would like it because you're still pretty like to me.
Yeah, come on, Vimesy. You can pull some rad moves.
Just kickflip.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, so it's good. Like, there's this girl in our players now.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Go on. What's she wearing?
I googled her and she's like really beautiful. Like,
what's she wearing in game?
No, she's just wearing like a normal clothes, like
no,
clothes.
like what?
Like leggings and like a vest.
Oh, she's wearing leggings. Okay, fine. That's the step up from what she's normally wearing when you play a game with a woman in it.
Yeah, no, they're really respectful. Like they got like all the new casts and yeah, whatever they were wearing on the day they came in, they basically just modeled them. So like if you came in wearing a backpack, you're in the game as a backpack.
I don't think so, but I think you'll find you can change their clothing and stuff.
You can change them if you want, but I'm just saying like the default players. I think they just
I'm very into it, but I'm waiting for it to drop because I reckon it's one of those games that's going to drop to like 20 quid soonish. Like
it's a nice skateboarding game.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing wrong with it.
Have you ever played Skate?
Skate? No.
Now there's a game. Now see, Skate you might actually like because the soundtrack's better, but it's just the flow of it. It's actually using like the controller to actually instead of like where Tony Hawk's is like just kind of like it's almost like a fighting game where it's like you got to remember the combos on the sticks and stuff. With Skate, it's more about you're actually kind of controlling the board with the sticks. It's a bit hard to explain, but it all makes sense when you play it. But it's a superb, much better version of it.
Like Tony Hawk's it's so archaic. Like I know it's an arcade
game.
Yeah,
no, but it is archaic. I mean, they've not changed that from what I understand. So
you're literally like I think it's called grinding. I've sound so bad now. I think you can grind for like miles, just go around like it.
I was watching somebody like a YouTube clip of somebody who got like something like 7 billion points or something like that, and it's just like bouncing off walls. Like he's just kind of, and then grinding round and round and round for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
but
okay.
at the same time, like I feel like I'm dissing it for the stuff it's doing. And like, obviously, it's going to do that stuff. It's catering to like the fan of skateboarders, not to the fakes. Like who just want to.
You want to play skate? Go buy skate.
I don't want to play another skateboarding game. I'm done for another 10 years at least.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. In that case,
I want to play SSX Tricky. That's what I want to play. That was a good game.
Don't get Cool Borders 2 again.
Oh, that was a good game as well.
I used to love that game.
Yeah.
Cool.
But see, those games weren't like snowboarding games. They were racing games.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I used to like that game. That was fun. So before we go tonight, I'm going to talk about probably the worst game I have ever completed. And this is without
Did you complete
doubt.
Diablo 3? Oh no, wait, sorry.
Shut up. I'm talking about Path of Sin Greed on the Nintendo Switch. This is without any shadow of a doubt the worst game I have possibly ever played, but definitely ever actually completed.
You completed that game where you had to rip off girls' panties?
Hey, that was you, Pat.
No, not Akiba Strip. The other one with the one you sent me after you completed it.
Kotodama.
This is worse. This is
worse than that.
This game is worse than that game. Right? This game is it's not point and click really. It's a hidden object game. Now, long-time listeners of this show will know that my particular gaming guilty pleasure, of which we must do a show about at some point, are gaming guilty pleasures. But my particular genre of choice for gaming guilty pleasures is hidden object games. I
bet you used to have all those CSI games, didn't you?
No, I never did actually. I've never played a CSI one.
Did you?
I have played the Castle game because Nathan's in it.
Did you have the games, Vimesy, growing up? The ones where you have to type in like really old ones, where you would have to type in like walk to the bathroom or whatever.
Yes, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
They were all he had when he was a kid.
Yeah, it's all we had when we were a kid on a green screen.
Like the one that Tom Hanks plays in that movie Big.
Yeah,
like
similar.
Go to the Wizard or whatever.
Yeah, very very similar. No, but this game is it's bad. It's really really bad. So it is a point and click adventure, but it is everything that's wrong with point and click adventures. I think it cost me. And this is the only good point about it, in the Nintendo eShop store sale, 89p.
Okay, that I didn't complain, man.
That I didn't actually have to pay for because I had enough points to buy it. Actually,
I think I bought. I can't even remember what bloody game I bought, but I think I bought two that came in at like £1.30.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've got another hidden object game.
Aren't those games like £1? Aren't they? They're iPhone
No,
games,
so normally, like, if there's a company called Big Fish who seem to whack one out a day or something like that. They're a bit like Pet on a holiday. It's like they're like a £5 each or something like that, but they have like 4 to 8 hours of solid gameplay, entertainment, whatever you want to call it. Entertainment is stretching it in this case. This game is worse because everything about it is awful. The voice acting specifically is probably the worst voice acting. I mean, I'm not even kidding. The guy that if you're watching YouTube, the guy behind me, if you can see that, is my boss. I don't know who the woman is. I don't think I've ever met her before, in game or out of game ever.
And you played the entire game?
Yes. No, not only did I play the entire game, not only did I complete the entire game, but when you play the game, you finish it, you unlock an epilogue. And I played that too. I stayed up till 2:00 in the morning playing this game, and I have no idea why.
We've literally got Star Wars VR, and you're playing this.
Awful. I don't know. I booted it up at like 9:00 at night, 9:15 at night, and then the next thing I know, it's like 2:00 in the morning, and all I was thinking was playing this is awful. This is the kind of game, right, where you walk into a scene, and then it's like, okay, yeah, there might be a clue over there, so you click on it, and it takes you into a zoom, and it's like, to unlock this cupboard, you need to find a crest of a seashell. And you're like, why? No rationale for it at all. But these are everywhere, right? There's things where like you go into somebody's dressing room and there's like a puff on the floor, like a footstool, and you walk over to it and you have to you can kind of lift up the lid of this puff, and there's like, to do this you can't just lift it up, you have to go and find a special tool to lift it up, but
I
that
see.
tool isn't the proper tool. It's like, I don't know, a starting handle from a 1952 Chevy that's out in the garage or something like that. Why am I doing that when also in my inventory at the same time I have a poker from a fire, right? So why can't I just use the poker to open the fucking lid? No, it's got to be the starting handle from the 1952 Chevy in the garage.
Only the crank can do it.
Everything about this game is
Yeah.
just awful.
It's like it asks you to find like a candle holder, and you find one. It's like, no, not that one. We need the one from 1932.
Yeah,
But it does the same thing.
But it's like you collect this stuff, you're like, but why? And it's like you'll have things like to go into the back of, like, okay, to unlock a door to get into like a room, obviously, right? Door, room. You have to find a certain key, and it's not a key, it's like it's like a gem or something like that, right? You find the gem in a statue in the garden, a statue that's been there since 1872 when the door was only built in 1993. It's like absolutely makes no sense.
This sounds almost as obtuse as Discworld 2.
Don't you fucking dare. That's a great game, and you only hate it because you're shit at it. Okay? I know.
Who made this disaster? Who made this shit show?
I don't know who developed it. I don't want to know anything else about it. It's bad. Okay? The only reason I want to know who the developer of this is so I never buy a game from them ever again. What I don't understand is why I played it for 17 hours or something ridiculous like that.
Why did you? Go ahead.
I don't know, Clarky, you've got your Switch probably in your hand right now. You can see my playtime.
I'll get it in a second. I'm going to say that you're probably saying this in about 6 weeks' time. That picture behind him will say Path of Sin, Envy.
Lust. I'm waiting for the Lust one because that's going to rock. But it's like the voice acting, I cannot. The bloke kind of goes, he's got this really weird pseudo English accent, and he's like, oh no, he's got a gun and he's pointing it at my face. It's like a really
good.
Do you know Matt Berry?
Yeah.
Matt Berry is like a fantastic actor, comedy actor, but he always basically plays the same character. He was in Toast, he was in the IT Crowd and stuff like that, and he always talks a little bit like this. And it's like
the guy with the fro.
Huh?
The guy with the afro.
Afro? He's normally got a beard. I wouldn't say he's got an
What
afro.
am I looking for here?
Be in my play history. But anyway, so it's like it's like a really, really bad impression, and everything in it is awful. The plot makes no sense. The puzzles make no sense.
What are the graphics like? Are they good?
Shit. I mean, they look like what they look behind. No, they don't even look that. They're not that. They're hidden object games for the most part.
Is it like hand drawn?
You need to remember you have to have played it 10 days before it actually shows up your time on it.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't got my Switch to hand, unlike Clarky, but it would have probably 7.
Oh, that's what I picked up.
7 or 8 hours, but it's awful, and the graphics are the least of your concern. But all hidden object games look essentially the same. They have that same art style. They have that same kind of pencil,
which is
crayon
nice.
drawn.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a nice art style.
Yeah, and for, but it's like the same bloke drew them all the time.
Yeah.
And it's the same bloke, he's been drawing them for the last 10 years since I started buying them.
50, mate.
They are all the same. They're like, you can buy, I'm not kidding, there are thousands of these bloody things, all sorts of, but they're all basically the same. And
that's got to be an iPhone game or an iPad game. Like,
it probably is. You probably can get it on the iPad. You probably can.
Yeah.
It's like a mobile thing. It won't be a mobile, but it'd be like a pad game or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I've got some on this PC. Like, it's just like they're just things that, like Big Fish, they just do. But they're normally good just as a kind of mind-numbingly. Like, some people like doing Sudoku. Some people like doing crosswords. I quite like doing hidden object games just because they just zoning
So if
out.
if you had to pick like your top 3 hidden object games,
This is
or
not
funny-
in that list.
No, but which are your best point and click top 3
Oh
of all
God!
time?
I honestly, mate, I don't even think I couldn't tell you the titles of half of like hardly any of them.
Like Monkey Island's like always comes up like in the top
Monkey
10.
Not a hidden
Monkey Island is
object.
not a hidden object game.
It's a point and click game.
That's a point and click puzzle adventure. That's
So what's the difference between point and click and hidden object then?
well,
I
point
thought
and
they were the
clicks
same.
tend to be good. So okay, so hidden object games. Okay, hidden object games. You have a static screen. They're normally done in the first person. So there's no character on the screen that represents you. Okay, so it's normally first person. You're looking at a picture, like a static drawn art picture. Okay, and you might see a door on the left and a door on the right. If you click on that, it will take you to another static picture. Okay, that's basically how it goes.
Well, it just cuts to black and you're in another room.
And then you're in the other. You don't walk towards it or anything like that.
No.
You can see things of interest around the room. And then when you click on that, it will take you to another static picture that might be a puzzle or a mini game, or it might be a hidden object game, which is basically a cluttered picture. Normally looks like a junk room or something like that. And it will have a list down the bottom of 16 objects that you've got to find. So it might be like binoculars, a cat, a can of beans, a rope.
And that's in the picture somewhere.
And then somewhere in the picture, there is that item and you have to find it.
Like Where's Wally kind of vibe.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. But I mean, it's like, and then you click on it and that item will disappear. And normally the trick to this is that one of those items that you pick up out of those 16 is something you need to progress the game, like the key or the
but not
starting handle from a 1952 Chevy, that kind of thing. So, so you do that. And then when you get that, then that allows you to go back to the other room and put the chess piece on the square on the table, which unlocks the secret chamber. Why?
But is there any puzzles? Does it get like? Is it just always find this? Or
no. This is the thing with this game. Hidden object was only like one in every 5 picture. Every puzzles was like a hidden object. You'd have things like, and they're all fucking easy. They're really this game didn't test any grey cells at all, mate. It was just so easy. It was like like those pipe mania games that you get where you've got to kind of go from left to right across the screen and match the pipes up or something like that, or balance the weights. Shit like that. Yeah, but worse because they're just awful. No imagination, no thought, no nothing. It's easily the worst game I've ever played. So if anybody wants it, Path of Sin Greed comes highly recommended as the worst game.
What is your top 3 games? And you can't even name one. Like they're all crap. Why do you play them?
Because no, they're not all crap. They're just not all worth remembering because they all blend in because they all look the fucking same, mate. You could show me a screenshot from any of the games I played, and it could have been from any of the other games I played. They're that generic, right? But it's a bit like watching a soap opera. The plot lines are all the fucking same. They're all, you could watch a soap opera from this year, go back 5 years, and the same bloody plot's going around with somebody else or something like that. It's the same thing. It's like doing Sudoku. It's like doing
Black fashion.
Some people like doing join the dots. I mean, what's that about, right? Painting by numbers. It's that sort of. That's why I play it. Is because it's an easy game just to sit. It's like playing Tetris or match 3 games. I quite like because they're just fucking mindless. You can just sit there and kind of go ding, 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 ding for an hour. Your mind turns off and you go to bed and go to sleep.
Because when you're explaining it, it does sound a little bit like the Professor Layton games. Because in Professor Layton, you got the puzzles,
similar. But in like Professor Layton, you have normally an interesting story. It's beautifully animated, and the characters are really lovely, and they're just lovely. And
but
the puzzles are normally different most of the time. So you might have like 200 puzzles in there, but they're normally
challenging.
A little bit challenging or make you think a little bit, but B, they're not all the same. So like out of 200 puzzles, there might be some variations of a theme, but very rarely will you come across exactly the same puzzle.
But you get so is Professor Layton a hidden object game? Because between the puzzles, you're then like clicking on.
I don't know. No, I don't remember. I don't remember. No.
Because remember, what's that game with like the lawyer as well? Objection. Like
Yeah,
that one.
that's not a hidden object.
Because you know,
Literally,
you
a
go to
hidden
the
object game,
murder
mate,
scene,
is
don't you? And
you're trying to find hidden object in the picture. That's all it is,
that's
right?
literally it.
That's it. That's what a hidden object game is, and you will find some hidden object games which is
That
every
1/3
single
of Professor
puzzle.
Layton.
Professor Layton is not that. Professor Layton is a puzzle game with a lovely story woven around it with nice cutscenes. Okay.
Phoenix Wright, that's the game.
Phoenix Wright is a detective game where it's a puzzle game. It's a logic.
But when you go to the
puzzle.
murder scene and stuff,
You still have to click. You still have to click around, but you're not told go and find me a pair of scissors, a bauble, a lampshade, a picture, a keyboard, a whatever. Right? Seriously, mate, the stuff it's just weird. Seriously, get on the Switch. Look for hidden object games. Buy one that looks as generic as that one, but not this one. Don't buy this one.
We've discussed like 5 games today, and we can't recommend any being bought.
Well, definitely not this one. Don't buy this one.
I with my points on the Switch sale, bought Bomber Crew,
that's a great game. I told you to buy that years ago, and it was even either on PS Plus or on Game Pass at some point, and I told you to fucking play that.
Hashtag best on Switch.
Well, there is that.
And Killer Queen Black as well.
But you need friends to play that.
I've got friends. Mr. Nintendo, come on, I've got friends.
Mr. Nintendo. Hello, Mr.
Nintendo. My friends list on my Switch is bigger than my PS4's.
My friend list, Mr. Vasalia Mario.
And how do you speak to them, Clarky?
Discord.
Yeah. You gotta download the app, log in.
He uses the well-integrated Nintendo voice chat feature that you'll find on most telephones these days.
We tried to do it once with Clarky.
Join my party. Join my party.
Do you remember Clarky? It was so bad. We just called each other on WhatsApp in the end.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of this picture because it's scaring me just looking at it, thinking I'm not ever playing that again.
Well, I respect you for completing it.
Oh, and Super Mario 35 as well.
I don't know why I completed it. I've got no idea. I'm just hoping there's not a path of sin, like Clarky said, lust or path of sin, envy, or oh my god.
Oh, come on, Vibes. He's practically advertised the fact that's what they're going to be. You see, the problem is on...
Can you search, see if there are any more? Just search path of sin, see if there are any more, because if there are...
The problem is with these sort of games, it's like you used to get on the PS2. Any old shovelware just gets released, hoping people will buy it. I mean, these guys know they
people
shit.
do. Idiots do.
Oi.
And now that you've completed it, I bet the developers looking at it, they're going like, "Oh, we got like another
cash cow, that man. Cash cow. Let's get him."
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, the people must really love this."
It was the fact that they said, congratulations.
It's still 90% off. Normal retail price £13.49.
How much did I pay for it?
£1.34.
That is like 35p
It's made
too expensive.
by...
You could have got 2 wings and KFC for that.
Artifacts Monday. Now I'm just going to click on their name.
I know them. I've had other stuff from them.
Oh my god, they've got 20 things on the Switch.
And what are they all?
A lot of them are 90% off as well, Vimes. We've got Modern Tales, Age of Invention.
This is perfect. Listen to the titles, Pet, because this is what they all sound like. Go on.
Grim Legends 2, Song of the Dark Swan.
I want that one.
Clarky,
can you tell me? Do I? Hang on, Clarky. Do I have to have played the first one?
I have no idea, mate. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go through all these because these titles are absolutely incredible. This one.
They all have. They will all be something like colon.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
The Phoenix Suns Feather of...
It is a good one. Queen's Quest 4, Sacred Truce.
I've played Queen's Quest 3.
I don't know what that one is because it can't even fit it on the screen. Scarlet Mysteries, Cursed Child.
That's all right. That one.
That's
not a bad one. That's not.
Yeah.
They all try and do this. It's really weird. Most of these games that Clark could go through are trying to go for like the horror trope or this kind of spooky, creepy trope. And they're
Even
not.
that picture you had looked spooky.
Yeah, they try and do that, and I don't know why. Because I've played a couple where they're a bit more bright, like the Nancy Drew stuff. Apparently, so I've heard is a bit brighter and stuff like that. And I much prefer playing them. If I had played them, that's what I prefer.
Do you know how when the Series X pre-order came out and everyone ended up buying an Xbox One X on Amazon?
Oh, wait for it. Here we go.
Right, we've got Uncharted Tides Port Royal. I wonder how many people bought that thinking, Uncharted.
I'm saying nothing.
Oh, look, Grim Legends, The Forsaken Bride.
Oh.
See, they're drawing you in, Pet. I can see you. You're mocking
Yeah.
it, but you're interested.
Well, I'm like, what happened to the bride? Why is she forsaken?
Why is she forsaken? Why is it a grim legend? Something
wanna
grim
know
must
the
have happened to her.
Yeah, but
Family Mysteries, Poisonous Promise.
Clarky, have they managed to implement gifting yet on the eShop?
No.
Did you guys ever watch? Have you ever watched Bed Knocks and Broomsticks?
Yes.
Do you know the old woman? But do you know the mature lady in that?
Yes.
Did you ever see her Murder Mysteries series with Dick Van Dyke?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, come on, Pat.
What was it? What's it called?
What?
What's it called?
You mean the Angela Lansbury ones?
I don't know, like the Dick Van Dyke and the lady.
Was Dick Van Dyke in that?
Yeah, you know Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. You know the lady from Bed Knocks and Broomsticks.
I'm going to Google this. So I was thinking about somebody else.
Do you not know what's her name? I can't.
You
call
are talking
her
about Angela Lansbury, aren't you? You're talking about Angela Lansbury. You're talking
Is
about.
her name Angela? I can't remember her name. She's got like she looks a little bit like Cilla Black, a little bit.
Yeah, Angela
Murder
Lansbury.
She Wrote.
Murder She Wrote.
Murder She Wrote. Yeah, have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Do you know Angela Lansbury turned 95 yesterday?
Don't know.
And she's a dame.
I bet you she looks really good for her age. I bet you she don't look 95.
I mean, I wouldn't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I bet she looks.
But your dad would.
But anyway, my point is, like, she always had like these weird mystery stuff.
Of course, his dad would. He's Greek. The only prerequisites is that he's got a pulse.
And even that's not necessarily an option.
My point is, they used to have titles like that, like the murdered swan of mystery, and then that episode would be like Dick Van Dyke like looking for a swan.
It was murdered in a mystery.
I'm falling down a rabbit
Seriously, mate,
hole
you want to watch Shakespeare and Hathaway if you want shit like that.
How old is Dick Van Dyke now?
I don't know. Is he still alive? He must be still alive.
Yeah, he is.
I hope he is. Absolute legend, mate.
Probably
Yeah,
at a stage where
I'm
he
never
doesn't
going to
even know
forgive
he's
him.
still alive.
No, I'm never going to forgive him for the accent he pulled off in Mary Poppins. Never.
I absolutely
Oh,
love
that was
the
a
descriptions of these
fantastic in
games.
Mary Poppins.
Oh my God, he was
absolutely
born in 1925.
So he's 100. He's
Look,
95 years old.
Look at you trying to do.
Is that? Did I do that math correct? 95, yeah.
You did, Pat.
So okay, he's still. That's still. Do you know what?
He was a
Because they got
staff
money.
sergeant in the Air Force as well. You
He's
know,
great. I love Dick Van Dyke. I really love him.
yeah,
Anyway.
he was good too. He was good in Night at the Museum.
Oh yeah, he was in that as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, and did you ever watch Diagnosis Murder? Because they were awful.
No.
Because they had his son in it, and they basically played doctors.
Who's his son? What's his son's name?
The other Van Dyke. I'll tell you in a second.
Really, we're talking about
Barry.
this now?
That's it, Barry. Dick and Barry. I'm not joking. I'm just not joking.
I don't know who Barry is.
Anyway,
Anyway, shout out to Dick Van Dyke and Angela.
Fucking hell. We've tangented somewhat, so I think I'm going to wrap this up before we go any further down. Next week, Clark is going to talk to us about the 6 hidden object games he's just bought on the Switch.
It's on Switch, baby.
I so wish you could gift games on the Switch, because can you imagine what you two would be waking up to tomorrow morning?
Yeah, having to annoyingly uninstall some shit you'd sent to us.
Literally. He sent me that crap game. I never even played it.
You didn't play it?
No, I won't play that crap.
You should play that, and then you should.
And you
review
can
it,
send me
'cause
the,
I
like,
tell
the
you, mate,
postcards as well.
our viewer count will go boink.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you not take those cards to the toilet with you?
To flush them down, I would have, yeah. But no, I didn't. No.
I bet if he pans the camera around a bit to the right, it's going to be like a whole wall full of them.
They just fall out my pocket.
Right. So anyway,
Stuck to the wall.
no, Clarky. Right.
And that's not blue tack.
No, you do this every time I try and wrap this show up. You guys start this, and then it all goes downhill. So I'm not having it. So if you want to email us, Clarky,
gamersconfessional@gmail.com.
we haven't had any emails, so I can't read any out. Maybe
I don't
somebody.
even know why I fucking
Don't bother with the emails.
I
Don't bother.
think maybe Clarky just
I think
puts people off.
I think emails now it's like giving them an address to mail questions into.
Yeah, literally. You might as well be asking them to phone our landline number.
Swat
Leave
us.
a voice message.
Swat us. Yeah.
Don't bother sending an email. Just write a comment on the Twitters or the YouTubes.
Yeah, if you want to go find that, we're at Confessional Pod on Twitter. I'm at Vimesy74, Pet's at Life of Pet, Clarky's at Clarky Snap. Or come to our YouTube channel and have a look at my beautiful, handsome face, Pet's beautiful, handsome face, and Clarky. So until next week.
Somewhat erratic release schedule.
It's not erratic. It's plagued by technical difficulties and forgetfulness, dementia. So, until next week, if we remember, thank you very, very much for watching, listening, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
How do I stop this thing?